Okay, pause and think about this for a second. We live in a world packed with just extraordinary phenomena. But honestly, few things are as mind-boggling as this. Which animal out there can survive being completely frozen solid only to be thawed back to life later like nothing even happened? You have your guess? It's the frog! I mean, isn't that absolutely incredible? No way, right? It's facts just like this one that remind us how wild, how diverse, and frankly, how fascinating our universe truly is. But here's the thing about general knowledge. It kinda often feels completely random. Pick up a cool fact here, a piece of trivia there, but it rarely sticks because it lacks structure. Well, today, we're gonna fix that. Welcome to our Ultimate Knowledge Explainer. We've taken 50 rapid-fire, seemingly disconnected trivia questions from this massive general knowledge pool, and we're totally transforming them. Instead of just, throwing facts at you willy-nilly, we're visually organizing them into a structured, categorized layout. The whole idea here is making your learning hyper-efficient, and more importantly, incredibly memorable. All right, let's dive into this. We've organized our 50 facts into 5 specific knowledge rounds. We'll kick things off with the human body and biology, then expand outward to exploring our planet's geography. After that, milestones in world history, followed by arts, sports, and pop culture, and finally, we'll wrap up with science, space, and math. So, let's get started. Round 1, the human body and biology. We're starting with the ultimate machine, the exact one you're living in right now. So your anatomy is this incredibly specialized machine, right? Deep inside, your pancreas works quietly to make insulin, while the bladder acts as this crucial storage unit for urine. Powering the whole shebang is your heart, which is tirelessly pumping blood, while your skin, which, fun fact, is actually the largest organ in the human body, protects it all. And to maintain this machine, you absolutely need proteins to build muscle. Oh, and simply stepping outside into the sunlight, that allows you to synthesize vitamin D. Now, of course, this machine also needs some serious rest and maintenance, and this brings us to a really vital hormone, melatonin, which effectively powers down your system for recovery. It's what helps you sleep. But hey, recovery isn't just about sleep. It's also about protecting our internal filters. While a lot of things can affect our health, alcohol actually does the most damage to your liver, and protecting that specific organ is, well, it's absolutely essential for the whole system to thrive. Round 2. Exploring our planet's geography. So we've kind of mastered our inner world, right? Let's zoom out and look at the globe we stand on. Across the globe, every single nation has a really distinct identity. Madrid serves as the bustling capital of Spain, just like Tokyo does for Japan, while the UK holds strong to its currency, the pound sterling. Looking at global records, Australia boasts this super rare distinction of being both a country and a continent. How cool is that? Meanwhile, the USA takes the crown for housing the most billionaires. And if you're looking for trees, well, Russia holds the title for having the most forests on Earth. Moving from borders to what actually grows within them. If you've ever wondered why a watermelon is the ultimate summer thirst quencher, it's because it's made up of a staggering 90% water. It completely reframes how you look at your food, doesn't it? It's essentially a delicious, edible glass of water. You know, our planet is really defined by sheer extremes of scale. When we talk about height, Mount Everest towers above literally everything else as the highest mountain in the world. When we talk about biological mass, the ocean holds our champion. The blue whale is undeniably the largest animal on Earth. Just to put that into perspective, it dwarfs an African elephant and a giraffe combined. Speaking of the animal kingdom, let's test your instincts for a second. I want you to think about the absolute most dangerous creatures humans. What comes to mind? Is it a shark? Maybe a venomous snake? Surprisingly, it's the mosquito. Yeah, this tiny little insect completely defies all our expectations of what danger looks like. Because they can spread incredibly serious diseases, they're actually deadlier to humans than any apex predator on the planet. I guess size does always equal threat, huh? So, across all of these incredibly diverse landscapes and, frankly, deadly habitats, how many recognized nations actually share this planet? The number to lock in here is 195. 195 countries make up our global community today. Round 3, milestones in world history. Now that we've got the map laid out, let's do a little time travel. We can actually trace our human story in one sweeping timeline, starting way back in antiquity with Cleopatra, the legendary queen of Egypt. Right around that exact same era, we see the rise of the Roman Empire, famously ruled by figures like Julius Caesar. Fast forward significantly to the year 1830, which places us squarely in the 19th century. Then the modern era violently kicks off with the beginning of World War I in 1914. And just a few decades after that massive global conflict, humanity achieves the impossible. Neil Armstrong becomes the first man to step foot onto the moon. Laying it out like this really shows you exactly how the dominoes of history fall over time. And of course, history is anchored by its physical monuments and its tragedies. Take these historical markers, for instance. The Statue of Liberty? It wasn't actually built in America. It was a monumental gift from France. The Colosseum, that massive, great arena of antiquity, proudly stands in Italy. And perhaps the most famous maritime disaster of all time, the Titanic. Well, it wasn't sunk by a giant rogue wave or a fire, but tragically because it struck an iceberg. Round 4. Arts, sports, and pop culture. Stepping away from the history books for a minute, let's look at what humanity creates for joy, expression, and competition. Human culture spans a truly fantastic spectrum. In the arts, Van Gogh gave us the visual masterpiece Starry Night, while William Shakespeare penned the ultimate dramatic play Romeo and Juliet. In modern cinema, it's the Disney princess Elsa who famously belts out Let It Go. But how do we communicate all this culture? Well, we rely heavily on Mandarin Chinese, which is actually the most spoken language in the world. And when we compete, we gather globally for the Olympic Games every 4 years. On the field, you score a home run in baseball, and if you manage to score a try in rugby union, you earn exactly 5 points. So you see, everything from classical painting to modern sports can be neatly categorized. And really, what's culture without food and drink? If you want the most expensive food in the world, you're ordering caviar. If you're whipping up a classic pesto at home, the essential green ingredient you need is basil. That glass of wine you might be enjoying, that's crafted directly from fermented grapes. And if you're ever shown a famous hearty dish stacked with fries, cheese curds, and gravy, you are looking at the beloved poutine. Definitely a game changer for comfort food. But today, culture isn't just physical, it's highly digital. Take a look at this massive number right here, 3 billion. That is the number of active users Facebook has every single month. It is by far the most used social media platform in the world, representing a scale of human connection that is literally unprecedented in our history. Round 5, science, space, and math. This brings us to our final frontier, where we look at the fundamental rules of reality itself. Let's start with the macro view and kind of work our way back down to Earth. In our immediate cosmic neighborhood, we have 8 planets in the solar system, with Mars standing out famously as the red planet. From our everyday vantage point on Earth, the sun consistently rises in the east. Zooming into the ground level, biology relies on a beautiful exchange. Plants literally breathe in carbon dioxide to survive, allowing iconic flora, like the towering sunflower, to thrive. And jumping back into our vast oceans, we find incredible biological stamina, like whales being able to hold their breath for up to 2 hours. Everything in nature, from the planets to the plants, operates on these fascinating rules. Finally, we use math and measurements to make sense of the whole thing. There are just some essential conversions you should honestly know by heart. The square root of 64? It's 8, simply because 8 times 8 gets you back to 64. When you're measuring volume in the kitchen, remember there are exactly 1,000 milliliters in a single liter. And when you're calculating time, 3 days equates to exactly 72 hours. These are basically the core building blocks of logic and daily life. And just like that, we've taken 50 rapid-fire facts and structured them into a cohesive framework of biology, geography, history, culture, and science. You know, they say knowledge is power, but structured knowledge, now that is mastery. So I'll leave you with this. With all this foundational knowledge now categorized and locked into your mind, which fact actually surprised you the most today? And more importantly, using this exact same structured approach, what massive, complex topic are you going to conquer and dive into next? Keep learning, keep organizing, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.